A billionaire walked into his mansion unannounced, craving quiet. What he met instead was a scene that twisted his stomach. His maid with his screaming twins submerged in a basin filled with electric blue water. Fury exploded through him, until a desperate phone call unraveled a truth he never expected. What he believed was cruelty turned out to be the only thing keeping his children alive. Before we begin, drop a comment. What time is it where you are and where are you watching from? And don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. The estate should have been calm. After days spent in conferences and private jets, Marcus Hale, one of the wealthiest men in the country, wished for nothing except silence. His briefcase was still in his grip when he swung open the kitchen door. Instead of calm, chaos hit him like heat. 2 infants wailed from a sink-top bath, tiny bodies splashing violently in water stained a shocking shade of blue. Grace, the housemaid, hovered stiffly over them, clothes drenched, eyes sharp with focus as she tipped a small bottle into the water. More liquid spilled in, and the twins' cries sharpened like blades. Marcus rooted to the spot, shock turning quickly into thunder. "What are you doing to my kids?" Grace flinched, nearly losing her hold on the bottle, but she didn't pull away from the boys. "Sir, please don't pull them out. They have to stay there. It's their only relief." "Relief?" His voice tore through the room. He stormed forward, anger twisting every muscle. "That looks dangerous. You're pouring God knows what over my babies while they scream." Grace's face stiffened, but she refused to back down. One hand braced Ezra's tiny shoulder, the other anchoring Caleb as his legs kicked wildly. "It's a disinfecting soak. The pediatrician ordered it for their skin flare. If I pull them out too early, they'll suffer even more." Marcus grabbed the bottle from the counter in one swift motion. No markings. No dosage. Just a cheap container filled with glaring blue liquid. He raised it like a weapon. "This? You expect me to trust this is treatment? It looks like something you scooped from under the sink." Grace's tone cut clean, controlled, but her hands never left the babies. "I bought it from the chemist. The doctor's note is inside my purse. It only looks harsh because of the tint. They're in a diluted bath." "Diluted?" He laughed once, sharp, disbelieving. The twins' screams twisted through the kitchen like wire. "You hear that? They sound like they're being burned." "Of course they do." Grace leaned low, murmuring a shaky lullaby as she steadied Caleb. "It tingles, it doesn't poison. If I stop mid-treatment, the infection spreads deeper." Marcus's eyes darted toward the stove. A kitchen timer pulsed red numbers down. 7:23. "You're using my children like lab samples." His voice sank, heavy with threat. 8 full minutes in a pool of chemicals? You've lost your mind. Grace's fingers trembled, yet she held the boys as they writhed against her. Water slapped the counter, dark blue droplets staining her uniform. "You trusted me enough to leave them in my care. Trust me now. This is the only chance they have to recover. Trust." Marcus slammed the bottle down so violently the babies jolted. "And you want me to put faith in a maid holding mystery fluids instead of the instinct in my own blood as their father?" The words stung deep, but Grace didn't release her grip. She guided the twins back into the basin, firm enough to keep their frantic bodies still. "Call me anything, help, housekeeper, nobody, but I'm the one standing between them and their skin peeling raw tonight." Marcus's breath came hard and uneven. He stepped in, jaw locked, hands coiled tight at his sides. "If they blister, if I see even one mark left on them, you'll be in handcuffs before you hit the front gate." Grace snapped her eyes up, glassy with tears but fierce as flame. "Then watch me. Every second. If you believe I'd harm them, then you never understood devotion at all." Ezra screamed again, tiny fingers clawing at his chest like he could scrape the burning out. Grace caught his hand mid-scratch, voice hoarse. "No, sweetheart, don't. You'll rip yourself open." She turned back to Marcus, voice trembling but unbroken. "This is the battle. This is why they endure these 8 minutes, so they don't tear their skin raw until morning." The ticking timer punched through the moment like a heartbeat. 6:10. Marcus dragged a shaking hand over his face, torn cleanly between rage and terror. He fumbled for his phone, thumb trembling above the keypad. I should call for help. I should call the doctor myself. Anything but stand by while you put them through this. Grace's voice cut like lightning, slicing through their cries. Then call anyone you need. But if you yank them out before that bell sounds, everything resets. Their pain will double. And you'll be the one responsible for what follows. For a breathless moment, only the countdown and the twin screams filled the kitchen. Marcus's fingers tightened white around his phone. Grace's fingers shook against the boy's damp skin, but she didn't release them. His anger and her resolve collided in that kitchen. Two opposing forces locked over two terrified children. One man ready to snatch them away, one woman refusing to budge. The timer flashed 5:42. Marcus stood rooted, torn between dialing for backup and following raw instinct. Every wail slicing deeper into his ribs. His thumb hovered over his phone, teeth clenched hard. Grace stayed firm, palms spread on their shoulders, refusing to let the treatment break. The kitchen felt like a battlefield, noise, panic, mistrust, until Marcus finally snapped, voice jagged as he hit call. Dr. Alvarez answer. Now. 2 slow rings. Then a composed voice filled his ear. Mr. Hale? Marcus erupted. My boys are in dyed blue water, screaming. And my maid calls it medicine. Is she insane? A beat of silence. Then the doctor's tone sharpened like steel. Hear me clearly. It's a chlorhexidine soak, antiseptic, blue-tinted. 1:100 dilution. 8 minutes. No early removal. It burns, but it works. If you stop mid-treatment, you worsen the infection. Marcus's breath stalled. He flicked his eyes to the timer, 4:37. Grace met his gaze, steady, unbroken, no fear. So this isn't cruelty? The doctor answered firm. It's the only defense against spreading dermatitis. Interrupt it and they suffer more. Trust the woman caring for them. Marcus slowly lowered the phone. Anger twisted into something heavier, guilt. Grace didn't smile or claim victory. She only murmured over the sobbing children, almost there, my loves. Hold on. And just then, sirens screamed from the street outside. The kitchen door slammed open. 2 paramedics and security burst in, freezing at the sight of the twins crying in the blue-tinted basin. Step back, one medic ordered. No, Grace shot back, voice steady. Not until the timer ends. The second medic inspected the boys quickly, then nodded. Inflamed skin, no burns. Antiseptic soak. She's correct. Continue the bath. Marcus staggered against the counter, the truth hitting him hard. They were safe because she refused to break. When the timer finally rang, Grace released a shaky breath and lifted Ezra, then Caleb, wrapping them snugly in fresh towels. Their screams faded to soft hiccups, tiny fists gripping fabric. She applied ointment with careful, experienced hands while Marcus watched, hollowed by guilt heavier than any boardroom defeat. A detective stepped in next, holding a file. Mr. Hale, we found the cause. Not negligence. Your house manager replaced the detergent. Industrial grade. Not baby safe. Marcus's head snapped toward the pale man at the doorway. You endangered my sons to cut cost. His voice was ice. The manager stuttered. The safer brand was twice the price, I thought. You didn't think. Marcus stepped forward, fury sharpening. You gambled with their health. He turned toward security, voice like steel. Remove him. He's done here. The guards dragged the manager away, his excuses swallowed by the soft coos replacing screams. A thick quiet settled over the kitchen. Marcus finally faced Grace, clothes drenched, curls plastered to her temples, arms shaking from holding 2 crying babies through 8 agonizing minutes. His voice was barely a breath. I almost stopped you. I almost destroyed the one thing helping them. Grace blinked back exhaustion, cradling Caleb against her shoulder. Fear shouts louder than logic, sir. I just had to shout louder than both. Something in him shifted. The sharpness in his gaze eased for the first time since he walked in. "You stood where I couldn't." Later, when the medics cleared the twins, Marcus lifted both boys into his arms. Warm towels around tiny bodies, their breathing soft and even, as if none of it happened. But it had. And in that kitchen, trust rearranged itself quietly, permanently. By morning, Marcus addressed the household with new orders. No product changes without pediatric clearance. Every medical solution must be labeled, dated, and dosed clearly. A proper infant bathing station would be built on the lower floor. No more emergency treatments in a kitchen sink. Later, behind closed doors, he faced Grace. "You've been far more than hired help. You shielded them. You acted like family. From today forward, you oversee all medical decisions, with a promotion to prove it." Grace stared, overwhelmed. "Sir, I only did what had to be done. And I failed to see it," Marcus admitted. "My ego nearly cost them their healing. You carried the responsibility I should have borne." That night, when the twins slept quietly at last, the house felt different. No cries, no panic, only stillness. Grace rinsed the basin clean, folded towels with tired hands. Marcus stood beside her, cradling his sons before laying them down. The man who once entered raging now stood humbled, silent. Gratitude replaced every flame of anger. His voice was barely audible. "What began in fury ends in grace." The twins breathed softly, safe against his chest. If this story moved you, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more gripping tales. And remember, before you react, seek the truth. It may be the very thing that saves a life.